Well, we're gonna play a game. You ready? You scared? All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so when you're considering a boondocking spot, what are the top 3 things you could give advice to?
When you're considering a boondocking
well,
spot,
you know, at night when you're sleeping, like...
Oh, you mean, well, that's different. There's day boondocking and
that's
then
what I
sleeping.
mean. Sleeping. I think people are probably wondering, you know, how do you pick your
Well,
sleeping
I still
spot?
like to be, like, get up in the morning and go for a one-wheel, like, right on, like, you know, I like to be close to the action still.
But aren't you worried that if you're close to the action, you'll get caught?
So you gotta find close to the action that's not obvious where everybody else is. You need to be in residential roads close to the action. Or near a park close to the action. Not in a park, but near a park or on the outside of a park. I mean, that's, you know, yeah, residential roads are easy, but you can find residential roads on the ocean. Just not like the main strip. Like, you know, where we are right now is the daytime spot. We could probably camp here overnight. I bet we'd be fine. But why push it? Because we don't want to knock on the door from whoever. So you
even
just
a neighbor,
you go
yeah.
find a similar spot, not quite as good. And you just move in there quiet at night and park her, and you're just a car parked on the side of the road. A car parked at like a beautiful bunch of car parking spots is obvious.
Okay, that's 1.
Level. I like to be level.
Levels 2, yes, level. Very important.
Level.
Well, you did say close to, like the town, right? You like to be...
Yeah, close to action, close to town, distance-wise, within the kilometer.
And in a residential zone.
Yeah. And I mean, I like a view. If I can have a view, it depends. Are you going to watch a movie? Or are you going to watch the ocean? Are you going to...
it's different than if you're in a city.
Do you want to? Are you going to find Wi-Fi? Right. Do you want to have a shower outside? You know, you could make these considerations. Which way do you want to face for the sun? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a few variances. And there's always, remember, like, there's always people that say, like, hey, you can park in my driveway and you can park in there. I'm like, yeah, but, like, where are you? Oh, you're in Rutland. Oh, you're in like the middle of the... I'm like, yeah, but I don't... Thank you for the offer, but, like, your driveway is far from the beach. I like to be near water. For me, it's always near water. I mean, if I wanted to go buy a house and live far from the water, I'd probably go crazy. Mm-hmm. I need to be near water. Even if I bought a house on the water, I'd be like, well, I need different water.
So I keep hearing the term overlanding or overlander compared to boondocking. Is it the same thing?
Well, it's just like the overlander.
Or is there a overlander app or something?
Yeah, it's just a van life, truck camper life, RV life, or you're gonna park in the mountains with your like 4x4 overlander. You know, your excursion. You know, how are you gonna off-road to it, or you just want to be on the pavement, princess, overlanding?
So that brings me to another question: is if you didn't have truck camper life compared to van life. Like
van life, truck camper life, yeah.
Yeah, like some people love van life, right? Because they're, you know, it's compact, it's small. I don't know.
You can blend a van. The advantages of a van is you can make them look really low pro, where it literally looks like a plumbing van. You can even put the stickers on the outside, plumbing. You know, manure. If people say, and you'll just park you can park in all the industrial areas, or right next to a beach, next to a house, next to a business, even if you get close to the water.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's just my work vehicle parked there overnight because I work and tomorrow I'm going to drive it to the store. Truck camper, yeah, it's obvious. It's a camper, so it's more obvious. But everyone has these big sprinters, and everyone puts stickers on it saying we're the Overlander Instagram page. You know, so they kind of give it away actually for free. They always put stickers there. I live here, so they advertise. So it doesn't really matter then as much, right?
Right.
They actually are advertising that they're overlanding in their van. The vans have huge negatives compared to the truck camper. It's like, oh yeah, van life. Yeah, for me, I feel like van life is like, it's like a tougher. It's more camping. It's more like I'm camping. I don't have a real washroom. I don't have a real washroom.
What do you mean? You could have a toilet,
They typically
right?
have cassette toilets if it's a van, unless you're getting like a pleasure way. Because the Pleasureway vans, they cost 200 grand, you know, new, and used ones are expensive too. But like, yeah, Pleasureway is going to be like a nice big van, like an RV. But most people do van life. They get a van, they get somebody to build it, they build it themselves, and the most they'll have is a cassette toilet where you pull out under the. So they don't usually have washrooms. Most people that do van lives don't have washrooms. A bucket, essentially having a bucket, right?
Right.
Not good at all. Not good at all for me. What I like for luxury. I don't want to like go and use everyone's washrooms at sites. Like that's terrible. And that's the worst part about backpacking. You don't have your own washroom. Number two is you don't have your own kitchen. So van lives often don't have your home built ones. They often have like a sink with like, they'll use like a device to pick the water up, like another bucket system where they run it from one bucket for like just a small amount, 20, 30, 40 liters, and they run it with a little tap pump into another one that they manually have to empty out, like another like water container. Like, it's not, those van life people, they haven't spent the money to make it like a real RV where they have 150 liters of fresh water, they have a 100-liter gray tank and a black tank. So.
But some people have like the Volkswagen Winnebago or the Volkswagen
Those
vans.
are 200 grand. No, most people are doing van life where they take a Sprinter and they modify it with some solar. They build a bed structure. They build a little kitchen structure, with, like I'm saying, with like a bottle below the sink and a bottle above the sink. Or
so that's what van life would be more like. Hashtag van life would be more those people who have just
home built style. Yeah, it's not a Pleasureway. Those things are $250,000 now.
Pleasureway, but what about just like a 1969?
You can get an older one, sure, an older Pleasureway or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good way to go.
Right.
But most people don't do that. Most people build their own van and they just build a bed, they build some cupboards, and they have a little, like I'm saying, it's a sink that goes in a bottle, like a blue bottle, like a blue water container.
Compared to this thing,
no, I have 150 liters. You have the tanks, and then I have the 6'4" fridge. Most people have those Norcolds. You know, they have like a Norcold, like a little freezer, which are great.
Right.
They don't use much power, but it's so difficult and everything is layered up. You know, it's already difficult enough with this 6'4" and a freezer, right?
Yeah.
They don't have a freezer. It's going to be Norcold. It's going to be one or the other unless they had two. It's more like, it's more camping style. You know, like it's like, you know, like luxury tent city style. You know, like it's like I have a little Norcold suite and a little generator. You know, they put the solar on. They can do the batteries. They can do the whole system I got as well. But the next big thing is they can't stand up. You can't stand up in a tent. They can't. I mean, I can stand up just luckily enough, but with my air conditioner, they don't have an air conditioner either usually. But they can't stand. So you're always huddling in something, you know, hobo style. And they don't have a bed typically always set up. And if they do have a bed always set up, so if the bed is always set up, then the van is only as big as from here to here. This is how big the van is. So then if your bed is all like this much at the back, then this is all you have for the huddle kitchen.
It's hard to follow
room.
You when you're moving
my God,
around this
I forgot
much.
about the food.
See, this is another good thing that we have.
Oven. Nobody has ovens.
Ovens.
Oh yeah.
How we do.
I caught it just in time. A couple bird chips.
Yum.
Fish is looking good.
So what are those other vehicles you talked about?
So I always have a queen bed ready to go. I can
Right.
Just jump up there or throw somebody up there.
Yes.
It's a good.
Jesus. Jesus. So what about the what are the other things you always used to get me to watch?
Plus I have 4x4. Some vans have 4x4.
The big 4x4, the thing you want, that's like $1 million or $500,000 or something like that.
Alright, I like the European 4x4s or 6x6s with the diesel engines. Or like those Overlander ones, whatever the Expedition, what are they called? I can't remember now. They're like $500,000, they're more like $1 million.
Rovers or roamers?
Earth roamers.
Earth
yeah.
roamers,
so that's $1 million US version of the European version that are on the Mercedes truck Unimog style giant chassis. I think I'd rather have the European one. They're cheaper, better pricing, more competition. But yeah, the Earth roamer. Look at the European ones. There's so many, a bunch of companies that make them. They're really cool, but the Earth warmers is overpriced.
All right, I'm gonna turn it off now. Are you alright?
Hot.
It's hot. Hot.
Olive. Olive.
Oh, it's an olive.
Oh, what hot.
Yeah. Alright. You gotta sign off here.
Sign off, Marcel.